Samuel chapter 8, Samuel was judging over Israel, and he had become old, and he appointed his two sons to judge the children of Israel in his place. And it says they turned aside after dishonest gain, took bribes, and perverted justice. So they weren't doing what was right in God's eyes. And then, so the children of Israel said, look, you are old and your sons do not walk in your ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the other nations. They thought it would be better for them to have a king rule over them. And so Samuel went to the Lord in prayer, and the Lord said to Samuel, heed the voice of the people in all that they say to you, for they have not rejected you, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them. According to all the works which they have done since the day that I brought them up out of Egypt, even to this day, with which they have forsaken me and served other gods, so they are doing to you also. And so the Lord's telling Samuel, it's not you they're rejecting, it's me. And what the Lord had put in place for law and order. And so the Lord sent Samuel to warn the children of Israel, like, you don't realize what you're asking for. And warn them what this king that they were begging for, what it would actually be like. And it says that he will take 1/10 of your grain and your vintage and give it to his officers and servants. He will take 1/10 of your sheep and you will be his servants. And it goes on more descriptive about how he would take their daughters and they would go serve for him and bake and make cooks and bakers out of them. It's pretty descriptive in 1 Samuel 8, if you'll go read it. And then Samuel tells them, and you will cry out in that day because of your king, whom you have chosen for yourselves, and the Lord will not hear you in that day. Nevertheless, the people refused to obey the voice of Samuel, and they said, no, but we will have a king over us. And, in Romans chapter 13, it talks about being subject to government. Let every soul be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God, and the authorities that exist are appointed by God. It was the same back then. To live a righteous life is keeping God's ordinances. So if the government of the land says you're going to pay taxes, or you're going to obey the laws, or you're going to become cooks or bakers in the king's service, then that's what we're to do. Because even David, when Saul was trying to kill him, and then there became an opportunity where Saul could actually have taken, David could have taken Saul out, and he didn't do it because Saul knew that God had appointed him king. David knew that Saul had been appointed king. Just because it's a good king or a bad king, God still is the ultimate authority, and God appoints and these men in these positions. But if you look closely, it is because of the heart of the people. The Lord gave the children of Israel what they wanted because they wanted a physical king and not King Jesus.